Okay, so today we are going to look at the specimen paper again. And if you look very carefully, always remember to focus on what is the big question. Okay, so the big question here is how harmful was the use of social media in the London riots in 2011? The videos are going to be short videos, and I just looked into the different sources. Okay, so if you look at source, the big question, okay, so obviously it will be a yes and a no, which means that there will be sources that actually tells you that the riots were harmful and the riots were not harmful. So just take note of that. Okay, let's look at the background information. Between 6th of August and 11 August 2011. Now, when a source gives you a certain date, take note, okay? Dates are always very important. Okay, what is the significance of the dates? Okay, thousands of people riot. All these are negative. Okay, the riots that started on 6th of August led to a protest march in North London, and of course there were violence. Now, the riots have also been called as the Blackberry riots, named after, of course, the brand, which means that there was an extensive use of social media as well as the internet. Okay. All right. Moving on to source A. Now, if you look at source A, just now I was asking you to look at the significance of the date, right? So it happened in 2011. Okay, so if you look at source A, it is quite a recent cartoon because the riots happened between 6 to 11 August. Okay, now what is the message of this cartoon? Okay, so again, why would an American actually draw this? What was the intention? Okay, and if you look very carefully, a flash mob here, the definitions are always important if they give you. Flash mob is a group of people who assemble suddenly in a public area. So if you look very carefully, this person is a looter. And the meaning of looter is they just take property, and usually it is by force. Okay, and you can see that he has a brick here. Now these people here are obviously the policemen. Okay, so what do you think the cartoon was trying to tell you? Okay, was it a very negative portrayal? Okay, were the police able to stop the rioters? Okay, what was the role of the police? Right, so these are things for your consideration, for you to remember how to answer the message later on. Okay, now going to source B, this is of course the Prime Minister, and he was addressing during, if you look very carefully, the riot itself. Okay, so when you have something that says at this time, why is he saying this? Okay, what was his main intention? What was his objective? Alright, so there's a reason why the question is actually asking you for the duration of time, and that is why you must always go back to the provenance. Again, provenance is this thing here. Alright, if you look very carefully, it actually says everyone was watching via social media. So again, social media is negative here. Okay, now free flow of information can be used for good, but it can also be used for evil. So this is what we call a positive as well as a negative perspective. Okay, and you can see that the Prime Minister was trying to, because this is a purpose question, trying to convince, trying to reassure who? Okay, this is the Parliament, and I'm very sure besides the ministers, there are also the public or the British people who are actually listening in. All right, so you can see what is the reason why he wants to stop the websites. Okay, so what was he trying to convince Parliament to do? Okay, so that is how you answer B question. So actually the answer is here. He was trying to convince Parliament to do something, which is to consider stopping people communicating via websites. Alright, so what was the outcome? Why do you think he was saying all this? Okay, does he intend to get the Parliament to support him? Okay, so these are certain considerations that you need to be aware of when you unpack a source-based question. Okay.